Are you struggling to conceive? You have options, and at Piedmont Reproductive Endocrinology Group, we'll make sure you have the guidance and support you need. PREG is known for individualized fertility care that's unique to every patient. We take the time to provide a reassuring and empowering experience because we believe that you deserve nothing less. Let us help you on your journey to parenthood. Visit us at pregonline.com to learn more. Get the guidance and support you need at Piedmont Reproductive Endocrinology Group.
Amazon Delivery Service Partners are hiring full-time delivery drivers to meet growing customer demand. Receive compensation of at least $20 per hour at select stations, plus benefits, and a sign-on bonus of $1,000 from participating DSPs if you apply now. No delivery experience required. Must be 21 years or older. Terms apply. Apply today at amazon.com/driver. That's amazon.com/driver.
Ladies and gentlemen,
let's get started.
I have thought a lot in the last 24 hours.
Time to get your weekly sports fix.
By the skin of their teeth, they lost.
Then you can just ride it the whole thing.
With Stix.
We are live, baby.
You plugged in all the cables and you blew on the cartridge and you you like kind of pushed it down at that perfect angle and then kind of centered the cartridge. You got everything going, right?
I think so. The producer came through in the clutch. I think he's got it all figured out. So that's the Announce Big Homie. We also have Aaron Barcot here with us back in the house. Pasco's legendary high school girls basketball coach, Aaron Barcot. What's going down, bro?
What up?
It's going well, brother. How you doing today, man? Just enjoying day number 2 off. At least the snow day for today got called last night. The first one didn't get to almost 8 o'clock. We had a 2-hour delay, then they switched it. So it was nice to know at 6 o'clock last night I didn't have to get up in the morning.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that. After a couple weeks off from, vacate, a couple weeks.
Yeah, they made me work a day and a half, man. They made me work a day and a half. What the hell is that about?
What, you guys still got snowy conditions over there or what?
Oh yeah, we just got hit. So it started last Thursday. It dumped so Tuesday night we had freezing rain for like 4 or 5 hours straight. And then today it started snowing at like 2 and it didn't stop till this morning. We got about 6 inches right now. And it's supposed to be 45 degrees.
All right. Hold up real quick.
Look at this fool.
All right. Hey. On a live stream.
Yeah. I mean, we don't worry about being like, this is live to tape. You know what I'm saying? This is kind of like Jimmy Fallon or something. Hey. We just go back and we just edit all of this. Good and damn well we don't know how to do none of that. So keep your ass sitting right there in the chair.
All right. I didn't think people needed to hear the sniffles the whole day. So let's do that. Need to get rid of those sniffles.
That's real.
All right. Hey, well, check it out. We're in 2022. We're starting it off right. We're getting ready to get this thing popping off like we've been working on for 2 years and just keep plugging away at it. Hey, learn something new every day. We had to figure this stuff out on the fly right now. So check out the YouTube channel. You got the Sports Fix with Stix and Announce Big Homie YouTube channel. Also, don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review the show on whichever podcast platform that you listen to. We out there too. Go to thisisfunner.com for more podcasts and online content. Grab some merch from the Funner family while you're there. Follow me on Twitter at Stix015 and follow this guy. Now it's Big Homie at homie_anonymous.
That's messed up. They done messed around and let us be on video.
Just what the people have been waiting for, my brother. They needed to put the voices to the faces.
Or the faces to the voices. Either way. I mean, yeah. I see what you're
Oh, yeah, that's what I mean.
These are all a bunch of faces made for radio anyway. So
that is true.
That's what I'm saying. A bunch of mugs.
That is very, very true. So, hey, we got the little cold open there as we were prepping and getting things ready to go. But, we were poking at a homie's shoes in the background. Chris asked him if it smelled like feet back there.
It's a logical question. It's a logical question.
It is. Hey, what's the weather like down there in Federal Way?
Northwest gray is the shade. Typical business, you know how it goes. It was raining a little bit earlier, but this is the Northwest, so I would say that today is just another day.
That's beautiful. Exactly how it is over here. It sounds like Barcot over there in the Tri-Cities has has our weather that we had New Year's weekend. So he's got that
snow, man.
Got that snow popping off over there.
I was so lazy when the coaches were asking if we're going to have practice, if we think today's going to get canceled, whatever. I was like, I don't know what to look like outside. This is like 3:00 in the afternoon. My ass hadn't looked out the window. I had no clue the snowstorm had started. I was just chilling down here playing my GTA games I downloaded. I'm at the snow had already hit, so I was like, I guess we'll be canceled.
Made the executive decision, baby.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's why they pay you the big bucks. That's why you're a state champion. Is that what
No, we're district champs. We are right now ranked number 1. So
hey,
if they even watch this practice, they'd probably re-rank us to like 66.
Uh-oh. The coach talk right there.
That's right.
And keeping it real.
Hey, absolutely.
All right, fellas, let's get into some quick sports talk before we get into this complete fuckery of the NFL that's going on right now. But hey, I know you'll appreciate this one, homie.
What's up?
Did you see the tennis news? We haven't talked a whole lot about tennis, but we got some tennis news for y'all. People are probably turning this shit off right now. Novak Djokovic being refused entry into the Australian Open.
No, hold up. What's funny about it is he got a pass to play in the tournament. Your ass just can't come into our country. So yeah, you come on and play from over there. Where the hell you at? That's what's wild.
Yeah, I figured you'd like that one. Given your sport of tennis a little love. We haven't talked a little bit about that. We did have some tennis in our bracketology that we did, our what do we call it? Our bracket that we did back for March Madness.
Yeah, for sure. And he was definitely up there as one of the, you know what I'm saying, the benchmarks in tennis sports. I mean, that's really what it is. I mean, you look at him, what's my man's name? Nadal and Federer. That's it. Yeah, the conversation is over. Forget about everything you know about what happened in black and white days when they had a wood ass racket. You know what I mean? None of that stuff matters anymore. These three dudes are the guys, and then you got, you know, saying Serena on the other side. But other than that, the conversation ends with these three guys right here.
I got a question on that because I wonder, because obviously his thing is he's not vaccinated. Australia and New Zealand have made it clear they are hardcore lockdowns. You know, this is what they do.
Hard body.
So my question is, I wonder if he got his exemption through tennis, but no one bothered to verify through the Australian government.
Exactly.
Which is good enough for you guys. And at the last second, the paperwork came out and they were like, this is what they, because I do wonder if Australia would have let him in. I wonder if the government got the paperwork from not him, not his people, but from the tennis, you know, governing body a little too late for them to feel comfortable with it. Because my other piece is he's known that Australia had strict rules for 2 years now. And so that should have been something that tennis should have hit up hard to make sure they were on the same page. I don't think the government came out and said, yeah, last second, we're not letting people in.
Exactly.
A lack of communication.
Yeah, straight up. All of these countries had all of these travel restrictions in place from pretty much day one of this whole COVID situation. You know where you can go. Why the hell in the summer of 2020, all of a sudden everybody was in Mexico living a regular life because they ain't got no damn restrictions. Everybody knew they could go there, and they was all in the Caribbean doing the same thing. You know what I'm saying? So you seeing all these pictures of celebrities and whatnots out there doing their thing, living regular life because there's no restrictions. You know where you could go and where you can't go.
I remember that as soon as they started opening states up, and you know, states in the South and in Arizona had no mask mandates, nothing.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, everybody I knew in the Tri-Cities, their Facebook was flooded with Scottsdale photos. Everybody down in
Arizona. Yeah, sir.
Texas. Oh yeah, okay. I can get down there and have a good time and no mask and none of this BS, you know, whatever it is. Get down there. Okay, there they go. Because you're right. My point being, you're absolutely right. Everybody knew where I can go and have a good time and not have to be bothered by stuff.
Yes, and that's exactly why I brought up the tennis situation, so we could talk about it for about 5 good minutes. Let's get on to something else. You fools want to talk tennis right now. Hey, I know you all watched the college football games last week. Alabama, 27, Cincy, 6, Georgia, 34, Michigan, 11. Homie, correct me if I'm wrong.
No.
Most of the time I am. Did I not say that Cincy had a chance in that game?
Yeah, you did.
Yikes.
Yeah,
6 points.
You were on one that week. You was talking about some Jets shit. You was on one that week. But the college football, like I said, I mean, they're pure about what they're doing, and you can see it. So they don't have any of the NFL shenanigans and the story writing that's going on. And I think it's to their detriment because, like I said, I said that it should have been Alabama and Michigan, and clearly they didn't get the message on this. That would have made for the better story, especially coming with what we know now with this Harbaugh situation. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, the bubble is real right now. Now, look at this. Now, given what we know, would Harbaugh have been staying if Michigan would be playing for the title?
You know, I was talking to our boy Aaron Jones yesterday and down in Vegas. So shout out Aaron Jones. And we kind of talked about the same thing about him being him. And I mentioned this, guys, about him staying, but I also mentioned that to you guys. I think last week or the offline, we were talking about, you know, he only stays in a certain place for so long. And Aaron Jones brought up the fact that what else can he do when he leaves these places? He doesn't have anything else to accomplish. He can't get to the top, right? He can't, you know, he finally beat Ohio State this year. You know, but couldn't beat Michigan State or whatnot. But, you know, I think that I think I said it last week. I just think he wears out his welcome, but maybe it's something different. I think he moves on out, and as we'll talk about a little bit later, I think we have some notes in there about, you know, the Chicago Bears opening as they're getting rid of Nagy, that maybe Harbaugh's in line for that one. But in my opinion, yeah, I think he's done. I don't think he has anything else he can do at Michigan if he just got blasted by Georgia. I mean, Georgia and Alabama are the teams that you have to contend with now. So,
man, if you're a diehard coach, why feel like you have to stay at a program forever? Why not shake it up? You know what I mean? You want to prove that your scheme and your style and your methods can work and transcend everything. So I'm not mad at him. If I was him, being that he's not old and crusty like some of these cats, you know what I'm saying? Saban looked like he's rock solid scared of the NFL. Like he done already built this college resume like Gino Auriemma. Like he's not trying to ruin what he already put down. He already tried it with the Dolphins, so he's not messing around. But dude like Harbaugh, just go back and forth, damn it. You know what I'm saying? Hire gun. That's what these players are doing. You know what I'm saying? Because it's about to get hot with this NIL, transfer portal. Put it in your vocabulary. Transfer portal, NIL, coaches moving. Quarterbacks are going to switch teams probably every damn year now because people are going to be digging in their pockets trying to get this money because they're already talking about off topic, but the young kid that beat out Spencer Rattler picking up shop and about to go to LA and do his thing, you know what I'm saying? Because they done already put something in his pocket. So
what it's getting that NIL, and by the way, I'm all for these kids getting paid.
For sure.
But I can tell you from this perspective, they're paying kids in high school. There was a kid who's a junior quarterback, and I'm not talking about the one that recommitted to USC. There's another one somewhere else, and he signed where he's getting like 4 figures. So they're walking around wearing somebody's gear. This 16, 17-year-old kid's getting $2,000-$3,000 a month from somebody to just wear their sweatsuits, which of course they're providing them for free around campus. And you're a junior in high school, so you're not even having to wait for college. And I'm all for it, honestly. But you're right. That's the other thing somebody talked about. Caleb Williams, he can pack up and leave Oklahoma. And if he doesn't like where he goes next year, he can pack up and leave again.
Straight up.
Coaches have done it to these kids for years. I'm all for it. I'm all for it, man. People don't seem to care when a multi-million-dollar coach does it, but God forbid these kids take the same, they get the same opportunity their coach got. Hey, I'm off. You mentioned Nick Saban. That dude's moved 3 times. You know, he was Michigan State. He was at LSU. He tried it with the Dolphins and Alabama. I'm all for the kids, man. Let them get paid. Let them absolutely let them move around and figure it out.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that. I agree with you 100% on that. Like,
when Caleb Williams goes to USC, they're going to be real good, real fast,
quick.
And exactly what you said, Aaron Barcot, because you know the coaches up and move. We see it, you know, with Brian Kelly and Oregon. You know, Oregon got moved out, but Brian Kelly, you know, jumping ship to just roll right to the next payday. So the kids can do that too. The coaches can do it. The kids should be able to do that for sure.
It's a vocational program. You know what I'm saying? If this is not serving and highlighting me to the best of my ability so I can go get this real money at the next level, then why? I'll try 4 universities for 4 years if that's what it takes.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? For me to land with the right scheme and the right offensive coach, or if I'm a defensive player, whatever, to highlight me.
Hell yeah.
COVID, some of these kids are getting 5 and 6 years. We're starting to see 6-year seniors.
Yeah.
That's true.
If I can go to college for 6 years and get paid, why would I go get a real job?
What do you got on anybody's thoughts on Alabama +3 Georgia against Georgia for the national championship game, over under 52?
Heavy under easy.
Heavy under, huh?
Yeah, heavy under easy. I mean, if I'm gonna do anything, I'm gonna lay that Alabama number and feel real good about it. Until I don't. That's what it is. But I mean, after what happened in the first matchup, it's going to be way too many adjustments, maybe some over adjustments. You know what I mean? And so I'm thinking I would take the under, even though that's like a sin in college football is to go under. But I mean, that's just the way I feel about it. I think Alabama's going to try to do the same thing that they did and over adjust their offense because they won the last one. But Georgia is going to try to make sure they come with that defense that they were showing in all of the games prior to that first meeting with Alabama.
Yeah, I think that was it was 41-24 Alabama over Georgia in that first one. Yeah, like you said, homie, don't bet against Alabama. It's like betting against Tom Brady, right? You know, it's kind of what we were talking offline about a little bit.
And clearly you don't know how to not do that.
Yeah, I did not stick to the guns in the semifinal games. That's for sure. You know, hey, you live and you learn the lesson, right? But I agree. I think Alabama +3 is the way to go on this too. And I could be persuaded into the under, I guess, homie. We'll have to save that for this weekend discussion. But what do you got any thoughts on that, Aaron?
No, I do. Georgia, I think, had only given up 84 points in the whole season going into that SEC championship game. So I was not shocked with the way they dismantled at all Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
I do think it's going to be a little bit tighter because I just know Georgia's defense is real. Now, I think Alabama's the better team. I think Alabama wins the championship, but I don't foresee Alabama hanging. So that's why I'm with Anonymous. I can see going with the under on that overall because I don't see Georgia letting them hang 40 on them again. I don't see Georgia letting them put a 30.
Not even a little.
Because that defense, there's too much pride. You know, now you've given up, 103 points in 13 games. They're not going to let somebody go hang 35, 40 on them twice in a year when they got a defense that good. So I do think Alabama's going to have a dogfight, but I think Alabama's especially offensively, I think they're far superior to Georgia. So I do think they'll win it. But I do see it being more like a, 25-17 game kind of thing. I don't think it's going to be another one with somebody putting, 6 touchdowns on the board this time. Not be wrong. It also comes down to how banged up those Alabama wide receivers are. One, I don't think played against Cincinnati. Another one
did not.
Yeah. So it comes down to their health. Now it's been, by the time they kick off, it'll be 10 days. But it comes down to their health, and then can somebody finally exploit those young corners at Alabama? You got to be able to hold up your blocking on that front line because Alabama's that defensive front is always going to kick you in the teeth. And really, that I was shocked. Cincinnati was that. I knew they'd lose the game offensively. The fact they couldn't even hold a block long enough to put the ball down the field the whole game. I mean, that's just Alabama's front four is that devastating. I mean, those D tackles always go in the first round in the NFL and produce.
Easy.
And produce. So it's going to come down to, can Georgia hold the block and let that ball get down the field against those young corners, man? And I don't know that they can. I just don't know that deep.
Monday night for all the marbles.
That's right.
Let's see, homie. Man, how you holding up, homie? Not being able to watch some Kraken hockey right now.
Man, this is wild.
Right when we thought they were coming back, they played the one game, and then next game got canceled. Now they think they're canceled till at least the 10th, I believe.
Yep.
Which is wild. It's not even really the Kraken team that has COVID. It's the Canada teams and then the New York teams that they were supposed to face off against. So, man, this COVID running wild all over the country, man. Every part of the world, you still out there, baby. Still out there.
I couldn't even, that came down to just that. It had to be these other teams because I didn't find any news of the Kraken having any team-wide outbreak. So I'm like, what the hell is all these games keep getting postponed for? Because I got my hand on the button. I'm ready. You stand at the counter to lay down this bet because it's cash, right? So I'm going, well, what is going on? Every time I look up, the game is postponed. And then I run through the schedule and I'm postponed out till the 10th. Oh, what in the world is going on? Each of the teams were in Canada or New York. So that's got to be it. Even though I didn't see a write-up for the Islanders or what was that other team? The Canucks, I think, was the other team. And I'm like, well, maybe it was Ottawa. Maybe it was the Senators. I didn't see a write-up on them having issues. So I just was like, okay, well, y'all messing up. So make sure y'all postpone these games and get them back on the docket so I get another chance to drop that number down. You know what I mean?
On the O, the big fat O in hockey. We
heard about what happened, though. You heard about what happened at the beginning of the season, though, right? With the chick who had the glass seats at Climate Pledge.
Right.
This was a wild-ass story, right? I'm surprised that it took so long to get out, but apparently, so she's like a med student, right? And she just goes into the notes app and just click. Yo, dude, I think you got something wild on the back of your neck and it might be cancerous. You might need to check that out. Now, this was the Canucks equipment manager. She just held her phone up to the glass like this during the intermission, hoping that he would see it walking out. And she didn't think nothing of it. Time what goes on, man, the Connect staff is looking for her wild all over the world. Come to find out, it was something legit, and they were able to get on top of it. My man is gratified, as he should be when you're dealing with cancerous situations. And, that's wild because somebody who probably shouldn't even have been paying attention to the back of your neck, right?
Yeah.
Saved your damn life.
Saved your life, yep. 100%.
That was an awesome story. It's all over the place, all over the news. Just Google it. If you haven't seen it, you have to check it out. It's pretty dope for sure. Matters.
I hope she got more than the dude who ended up with the Tom Brady 600 football guy, because that's a damn life, man.
That's right. Well, yeah. So not till the 10th. Hopefully, well, they've been home for at home at the Climate Pledge Arena for like a month now, and then so I don't even know if their next game's on the road or if they're making up some home. Well, since none of the NHL players, from my understanding, are be able to go to the Olympics or planning to go to the Olympics, at least they got that whole month of February to make up some of these games if the venues are available, which I don't see how the venues aren't,
Why don't more infant formula companies use organic, grass-fed whole milk instead of skim? Why don't more infant formula companies use the latest breast milk science? Why don't more infant formula companies run their own clinical trials? Why don't more infant formula companies use more of the proteins found in breast milk? Why don't more infant formula companies have their own factories instead of outsourcing their manufacturing? We wondered the same thing. So we made ByHeart, an infant formula company on a mission to get a lot closer to the most superfood on the planet, breast milk. Our patented protein blend has more of the important and most abundant proteins actually found in breast milk. We're the first and only U.S.-made formula to use organic, grass-fed whole milk, not skim. We even conducted the largest clinical trial by a new infant formula company in a quarter century, with clinically proven benefits like easier digestion, less spit up, and softer poops versus a leading infant formula. And we make our own formula in the USA and our very own factories in Iowa, Oregon, and Pennsylvania. ByHeart, a better formula for formula. Learn more at byheart.com.
With the Lucky Land Slots, you can get lucky just about anywhere.
This is your captain speaking. We've got clear runway and the weather's fine, but we're just going to circle up here a while and get lucky. No, nothing like that. It's just these cash prizes add up quick. So I suggest you sit back, keep your tray table upright, and start getting lucky.
Play for free at LuckyLandSlots.com. Are you feeling lucky? No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+ terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Aren't available at this point with all the COVID stuff going on. You know, they probably had to cancel concerts or any other activities they had that were going to go on there. So let me give you all the fantasy football This Is Funner update from our This Is Funner League real quick. As we talked about all year long, the girls kicked our butts. So
speak for yourself, man.
Hey, way to go, ladies. Angela, team backed that pass up, finished first. Evelyn, the producer's wife, sleeping with the boss, got second. And thank you, Anonymous Big Homie, for representing us guys, finishing third. So, you know, we had one of the dudes, Josh, in the league, never set his lineup like a knucklehead, so maybe he should just give his control to his team to his wife. That would be the way to go for next year. Also, we got a couple regulars on the Stix and Anonymous Big Homie pod. Aaron Jones and Rudy will be joining our side of the table. We got, take control, help us out a little bit by flipping it a little bit to our side because the ladies dominated all year. Excuse me. Jen and Anonymous Wife both made the playoffs. So all four girls made the playoffs. But I have to give a huge shout out to myself, Steve, Chris, and Corey.
For doing what?
For sucking all year and finishing in the last four. Because we were terrible. But homie, you pulled it off you pulled off the third place wrap. We'll take it.
And nobody wanted to hook me up with the proper trade since they was in last. You know what I mean? That's cold-blooded. If you in last, you're obligated to let somebody who's in it eat a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. That's etiquette. That's fantasy etiquette. You know what I'm saying? You play to win the game.
You really wanted a player from my 4 and 10 squad or whatever the hell it ended up being?
Hey, I'm just happy to hear that Jason's consistent because he didn't make the playoffs in our league either.
Hey, yeah, that's because you screwed me on a stat correction that I needed. Like what, 8 points? I only needed 8 points.
Okay, here's the 8 points you needed.
Yeah.
My team went through 5 weeks of Antonio Brown, which I'm sure we'll get to later, injury, Gronk out injured. Is Dalvin Cook going to play this week or not every single week? Then I had Waller, the tight end, and disappear on me. So I had a pretty good lineup going in. And then, just guys get beat up. Okay. It happens in the NFL. It's healthy the last 3 weeks. This mug needs a win. And all of a sudden, my lineup gets healthy after the week after they're eliminated. And I'm rolling off 180 points a week. And so I'm blowing him out. He gets hot on a Monday night and gets within 8 points. He's like, man, I need an 8-point correction because I need to win this game to make the playoffs. He's not legitimately talking about ESPN fantasy football website screwed him. He just wanted the commissioner to go hand him 9 points so he could be in the playoffs.
And the best part about it was against you, wasn't it?
It was. I think that was in our league. You scored 160 points. That's a pretty high scoring week. You and I think that week were 180 to 172. So we were like the scoring teams. You needed to win a game, and you got the second highest score in the league. The problem was you played the guy at the high score that week.
Yeah, yep. Hey, I was just trying, slip the commission or something and just say.
Your team came a long way from setting a record for a week low in week 1 when they scored Yeah,
fantasy football was not in my repertoire this week. So or this year for sure. But homie, congratulations for holding up the end of the bargain on the This Is Funner League. 3, finishing 3rd, we'll take it. So
hey, look, I just got to give all due to the intelligence of me for drafting in snake style, number 99, Jamar Chase, and 102, Joe Burrow. Okay, I'm just telling you, that's what did it. Except for the week where I sat him for Jimmy Garoppolo. Okay, all right. You will not be able to find Jamar Chase or Joe Burrow 99 or 102 ever again moving forward. So this was the year I was on it, made it happen, and that's what drove the situation.
Man, in a snake draft, you ain't going to find either one of those two in the 3rd round again.
Never.
Top 2 picks. I don't care if you're in a running back heavy point thing, even if it's not a PPR league, Jamar Chase gets enough yards. That dude is going to be a 1st rounder for the rest of his career. He's a bad man. And by the way, the guy they have opposite of him, T. Higgins, that guy got 1,100 yards and like 8 touchdowns.
Hands catches.
That offense is getting ready to be what it was. Remember when Carson Palmer and Chad Johnson and TJ Hushmanzada and all them were there? They're a more explosive version of that. Now they can just sit down and spend the next 3 drafts drafting defense. And Cincinnati is going to be a team to be dealt with.
Yes, sir. Defense and O-line, and they're going to be on it, boy.
They are going to have to be dealt with. And they've got a couple of tight ends that can do some things too.
I still think it's great that homie sat Joe Burrow for Jimmy Garoppolo in the playoffs. I just don't know where his head was at. Like we discussed that the other day. But
man, we had a guy in our league. Remember Casey? Casey had a different quarterback every week.
Got to stream him.
He started Taylor Heineke. There was a game where I beat him because he started Cam Newton, and on his bench he had Joe Burrow, who went off like 45. Which if he had started Burrow, he would have beat me, but he started Cam Newton, and Newton, that was the game Newton went like 4 for 25. And basically that solidified the beginning of the end for Cam Newton in Carolina. Dude, points. And he had Joe Burrow scoring 45, 50 on the bench.
That's rough.
Quarterback every week.
All right, let's close this seg out with homie. You got any NBA? Anything in the NBA anybody needs to know about?
All right, well, you know how the NBA is. I mean, the NBA is the NBA. I mean, anybody who wants to know anything, the NBA, I could probably tell you in about a minute or so.
60 seconds, Yeah,
a little bit more, a little bit less. I mean, but it's about to be some stuff going down, and I might have to park it at the end. But if you really want to know, I'll tell you. It's as simple as this. Klay Thompson is in the mix. It's happening, and it's going down on Sunday. Guess who else was in the mix last night? The insane one, flat earther himself, Kyrie Irving, is back on the scene, 22 points, like he never left. The Lakers traded Rajon Rondo to the Cleveland Cavaliers because Rubio got hurt, and then promptly cut the guy who they traded him for. So they ended up with nothing. This is great. The story is just getting better and better. Westbrook had a game with 0 turnovers, y'all. Okay, that's wild. 1/3 of the refs in the league are in protocol. They're just grabbing people from everywhere. Barcot, have your ringer on because they're about to call you.
That's the same way in high school right now.
I'm telling you.
1 week to the next, if your schedule is going to be the same because of ref.
That's right. Joel Embiid is doing Joel Embiid type things. He's clowning KD with the walk-off after they beat the Brooklyn Nets. The Sixers went off. He started getting his proper wave on. KD, being a good trooper, he just gave him the good clap back. You got to appreciate that. Compton High School alumni. Hey, DeMar DeRozan, 2 back-to-back game-winning buzzer beaters. You know how that goes. Hey, the Memphis Grizzlies, for whatever it's worth, they won 5 straight.
Morant's a beast.
Yes, sir. Becky Hammond. Hey, she got an HC job, head coach, Vegas Aces, probably because they won't let her get a job coaching dudes, but whatever. She's going to do her thing, and she'll probably get right. James Harden looks like he's playing his little chubby ass back in shape, which is good. And then, look, peep this. This is going to close it out. Joe Ingles is the first person on the Jazz all season to have COVID protocol. The Jazz was the one that started this shit damn near 2 years ago. Is that hard to believe or what?
Yeah, they were the last team after they started the whole thing. Hopefully that means it's coming to an end and we don't have to hear about this shit anymore.
And then how many more? I don't know if you saw Hero last night with the Portland Center. How many more barroom brawls are the Miami Heat going to find themselves in the middle of? They got Joker in Denver and his brothers looking for them, and now they got another Russian center in Portland looking for him. So these guys, every time I turn around, the Miami Heat are beating up some, Eastern European post.
Oh, snap.
The NBA is going to be even less and less to talk about if this COVID situation keeps going rampant, because there's going to be so many G League names, and they're calling people just because they live close. Points. You know what I'm saying? They're calling people just because they live close to the arena.
We got the Lance guitar last night when he buried 30. Got for 3 years.
They brought back ISO Joe Johnson too. I haven't heard no news from him yet, but he's back on the scene. I talked about that a couple weeks ago. But it's gonna be names just
out of your guys' backyard. Isaiah Thomas is on his second or third 10-day contract. The Lakers signed him, let him go. He signed with somebody else.
Mavericks. Yep.
Yeah, it's going to be like a 2012 All-Star reunion.
They're pulling anybody and everybody, and then they're also got the refs. Who knows who's reffing these games these days? I don't even want to dabble in any basketball betting. I'll tell you that right now.
Not even.
It's going to be interesting to see what happens with the Super Bowl. They're starting to look for other sites now because they're not sure with COVID that LA is going to be able to host anymore.
Perfect. Let's get right into the NFL. I like that. That they were, Aaron Barcot brought that up. We're just going to get into the NFL. So let's just roll with NFL right now. The Dallas and Miami is a backup plan, I hear.
Haven't said Vegas?
Can't remember. No, I think Vegas has its own issues.
Well, I know, but my point is, I realize they have issues, but you're talking about the last game of the year, right? So let's be honest. The NFL is not worried about who gets COVID on the last Sunday. You got 5 more months to get COVID free in their mind. My thing with Vegas was Super Bowl is a huge thing. It's not something you just throw together. And with it being January, I don't know that Dallas can, I don't know. I don't know if they have the infrastructure and ability to throw together an entire Super Bowl 2-week thing. Miami, I could see doing it. And Las Vegas, obviously. Las Vegas can put together whatever you want them, but they can put that shit together in 24 hours. Las Vegas, they were built for hosting major events on the last second. And obviously the Super Bowl is supposed to be in LA, and that's another city that you do in the last second. So I was a little shocked that Las Vegas wasn't in there. I have a hard time believing Miami and Dallas don't have COVID issues with the way they've run COVID. So
Miami don't care. Florida man is walking around with his shirt off and his cut off jeans with an alligator on his back. He don't care. He ain't getting tested.
And I'll tell you this.
And looking for that
Las Vegas mayor and the Las Vegas governor don't care either. Sorry, Nevada governor doesn't care either. So I don't see why the NFL hasn't looked at Las Vegas, because you talk about a city that warm weather, obviously Dallas and Miami are too, but can put together and host a massive event and be something that the NFL can, hang their hat on. Plus, hey, it's the first time the Super Bowl's in Las Vegas, the gambling city of the world. Maybe that's why, NFL doesn't want to do that yet. But, I just thought Vegas would be perfect once they said they might not do LA.
Well, if they do Vegas, they better close down Top Golf, okay? I'm going to tell you right down now, because ain't shit going good popping off at Top Golf right now. You know what I'm saying? Fools don't know how to act.
NFL players going to be told nobody at Top Golf.
Straight up.
They cannot, they do not get the get out of jail free card and get to go to Top Golf. They do not need to be anywhere near the strip.
You know what? I take that back too, because can you imagine like BA, Bruce Arians and coaches like that being in Vegas? God forbid Bill Belichick and the Patriots make it. Can you imagine the lockdown they'll have on his players? They're on the strip and in the Bellagio or whatever, the Cosmo, and he's like, nah, you guys ain't going out. Can you imagine the NFL players locked up in hotel rooms in Vegas on the strip? When you got Because coaches like Belichick will put him on lockdown.
Oh yeah, he'll have a part
You
of
ain't leaving.
Patriots staff member will be outside every single room for every single
he'll probably
player.
put him in the Cosmo, and there's different towers in the Cosmo where they can just basically, hey, shut this elevator off.
Yep.
Put them up on floor 75 and turn off the elevator.
Yep, like I said, they'll definitely have the Belichick police outside every single person's room. They'll have their own little chaperone, probably sleeping on the floor right next to them, or at least being in the room and not probably not sleeping because they'd have to keep an eye on them. But 24-hour surveillance, baby. Just like
how pissed are you if you're a fan though, and you've already banked on this trip to LA to check out this arena,
your airline
tickets, and now your itinerary is like TBD, right?
And
how
pissed
I'll be.
You're talking about potentially having to move from LA to Miami. That's a 3,000-mile difference.
Yeah.
So your itinerary is not just a small change; it's a massive. That's why I was thinking Vegas would be perfect because it's so close. It wouldn't hamper a lot of people's travel. But man, with all the COVID shutdowns on airlines and then all that, now to have to potentially tell people, hey man, we're moving the Super Bowl 3,000 miles. That's a lot. Yeah, homie. That's a lot to do for people that got them tickets and made those hotel reservations. And yeah. And
that would be all bad.
Plane ticket, I better find out quick, because don't leave me hanging on in a hotel. Be like, hey, you didn't cancel early enough. The airline, like, hey, we can't hook you up with a flight there, but we'll give you a voucher. Now I got to go come up with money for another plane ticket. Yeah.
That will be all bad.
Mm.
What you got, homie? What you got? What else should we hit on real quick? Or not real quick. I guess we got some games to talk about, but not a whole lot of games.
I mean, there's a couple of little newsworthy little things that popped off. You know what I mean? Because I don't think we talked about the Dan Reeves situation, but we're gonna get into these games though. And but this week there isn't a damn thing that you can handicap on this week. You can't handicap your fandom. You can't use a damn power ranking. If you're a damn pro and you got inside information, you can't do a damn thing. You know what you're handicapping on week 18 with only 2 games. Okay, 2 games have both teams completely out. You're handicapping motivation, right? Who has motivation to play hard this week? Who has motivation to jockey themselves into a better playoff positioning situation? Because it's still a gang of shit on the line still, which is wild moving into this week. But that's what's going to be the overlying theme to what happens in week 18. But yeah, man, we should have had Jones on here because, you know what I'm saying, he lost one of their heavyweight coaches, old school Dan Reeves. Let's go back. He was the coach with the John Elway Broncos back in the day. You know what I'm saying? Carl Mecklenburg, Steve Atwater, those cats. Ooh. You know what I'm saying? With the big, chunky Elton John glasses on, you know what I'm saying? Looking like he just walked out of an accounting office. You know what I'm saying? But he was a heavyweight guy in there, man. And it's wild, man. You start looking at, you know how people always say you lose people in threes. I'll never believe that bullshit. But, man, you got John Madden. My man's right here, Dan Reeves. And then Betty White, everybody losing their damn mind over Betty White.
That was like within 72 hours, those 3 went down on.
Bang, bang, bang. You know what I'm saying? And if you peeped it out though, on a little side note, I don't know if People Magazine made the biggest fuck up in the world or the best thing in the world for them, because ain't nobody buying no damn magazines unless you're in the airport anyway. But they had a magazine cover already. Betty White turns 100 because her birthday is like next week.
That's right.
So how wild is that? And the shit's still on the damn shelves right now. People buying it. I don't know. I guess they think it's gonna be collector's items though. But yeah, man. And that's wild, man. So shout out, rest in peace to Dan Reeves. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't think we mentioned that last week because I think it had happened right after, if I am mistaken. Well, when we were on here, man. So
on Monday, maybe, yeah.
Yeah. So, but you know what I'm saying? On to a lighter note. Okay, let's go back to the palace. You know what I'm saying? Let's go back for the pit, not the palace. You know what I'm saying?
Pit, not the palace.
So was we talking shit about the wrong guy now?
Maybe I was on that train.
I mean, was we talking shit about the wrong guy? Now AB is putting texts out there saying, "Yo, I already told the coach that I'm like."
Now wait a minute. Tampa Bay's already come out with a new statement in the last 2 hours.
What they talking about now? Bullshit, lying, and covering up.
They got the NFL gave them the approval. His contract has been terminated as of 2 hours ago. Contract, meaning you ain't getting paid. They didn't just release him. They terminated the contract. He get no money. The statement was, we knew he was hurt going in. He was on the injury report going in. He told nobody in the medical staff on the sideline that he was hurt. Not one medical staffer came out and said, yeah, he told me this or he said that. And the reason they had not released him before today is they had been in contact with he and his lawyer for 72 hours to get him to come in with any orthopedic surgeon to verify his MRI and have a conversation. And AB missed every meeting.
So he didn't even show up.
He wouldn't show up to talk to him. Wouldn't show up to talk to him. Didn't tell the medical staff on the sideline he was hurt. So, and the fact that he's got the text messages with BA, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers said, go check the injury report leading into the game. We already knew he was hurt. We knew that. It was on the injury report. He was listed. So, but in terms of, he had 10 catches for 100 yards a week before. He had 5 catches in the first half. He told nobody about his injury. And you got teammates. Hey, the first thing they did after the game, hey, man, let's hope he gets the help he needs, XYZ.
Right.
Hey, he's been beat up. His body was hurting. He was telling coaches on the sideline that not that they would dispute the coaches, but no one even said, hey, man, he mentioned being hurt. The medical staff came out and said he didn't talk to us.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Look, look, it's 2 things that I know for a fact. Okay. One thing that I know for a fact is nobody is 100% in the NFL. Okay. Everybody's taking a cortisone shot for this, that, and the other thing. And this is every single week. And you play. Okay. Now let's rewind. So the text message, hey, I don't know. I'm going to try to get out there for you. I just don't know yet. Come in, BA response, come in, come talk to me. We'll chop it up. Whether he does or he doesn't, we don't know that. One side says that he didn't. We haven't heard that he did or didn't. But, okay, so game day, in uniform. Let's go back to, I didn't even know he was listed with a designation on the injury report. So if he was listed with a designation on the injury report, why the fuck are you asking me to go in right now?
I did
because at first
he was on my fantasy team and he had the Q question mark next to him.
So, but I mean, at this whole point, why are you asking me to go in if I told you I'm, iffy? I got a designation, but you're saying go in right now, and it's such a big deal that I need to go in right damn now. You know what I'm saying? It's a big deal that I need to go in right now. That is what. I'm done. Get your ass out of here. Beat it.
I hear you 100%. And this is why I think it's important that Tampa Bay has said, and again, we can talk conspiracy theories all day. And I'm not arguing that there isn't one.
I love that.
The fact that the medical staff said he didn't tell us anything about he can't play. So now what I'm saying is Tampa Bay's statement today is putting into question whether or not he actually told anyone I can't go in.
With the Lucky Land Slots, you can get lucky just about anywhere.
This is your captain speaking. We've got clear runway and the weather's fine, but we're just going to circle up here a while and get lucky. No, nothing like that. It's just these cash prizes add up quick. So I suggest you sit back, keep your tray table upright, and start getting lucky.
Play for free at LuckyLandSlots.com. Are you feeling lucky? No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+ terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Okay, round 2. Name something that's not boring.
A laundry? Ooh, a book club. Computer solitaire, huh?
Ah, sorry. We were looking for Chumba Casino. That's right. ChumbaCasino.com has over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Because the medical staff is telling Tampa Bay, he didn't talk to any of us. He didn't ask us for treatment. He didn't say, hey, can you look at this? So I get what you're saying. But as a head coach, I'm pissed off in the heat of the battle because I'm losing the goddamn Jets by 2 touchdowns.
For sure.
And I don't have a single medical staff person on this sideline saying you've told them anything. And we know as NFL dudes, when you put them pads on, you're agreeing. Now, of course, you could get hurt in the course of a game. But you're agreeing, once those pads are on, I'm playing. So, yeah, you get hurt in the course of the game. But, again, I'm not suggesting at all that Tampa Bay couldn't be greasing some medical staff wheels with some extra cash to shut up. But what we do know is there's no medical staff saying that he told them he was too hurt on the sideline. So I agree with what you're saying. But at the same time, if I'm the head coach, nobody on this medical staff is saying anything has changed since you walked out of here for pregame.
So did he sorry, Chris, the producer, hit me up real quick. So this was the first week back from after the 3-game suspension, or did I miss a week?
No, he
played
last week.
He played the week.
He caught 10 balls. He caught 10 balls, right?
10 balls. He had 15 targets, 10 balls for 100 yards, and he had 5 catches in the first half of the second game.
Okay, so he was on the injury report. He was still hurt or whatever. He didn't seem too hurt when he was running off the field, jumping up and down, giving the peace sign to the Jets.
That's a bad look if you talk about an ankle and you go jumping jacks.
Those aren't athletic moves.
T.O. played with a broken damn leg. T.O., my guy.
Thank you.
Yeah, those aren't
the broken damn leg.
Those aren't athletic moves. You know what I'm saying? In the NFL, doing jumping jacks and then jogging off the field, you can do that, especially because you know he had cortisone or he had some shot in that ankle, so he's probably not even feeling his ankle at that point in time. So I discount that argument only because those aren't explosive moves that are going to put tension and stress on that ankle.
So do we know what really set him off? Like, was it the quote unquote, like the Bruce Arians, the BA throat slashing? Did that really happen? Because the word on the street is they told
he did the
AB,
whole
you're done with the throat slash, but there's no video of all these damn cameras on the sideline everywhere and in the stands.
But we don't know there's not video
interaction.
We don't know there's not video.
Well, they caught the interaction with Mike Evans trying to calm him down. They pulled that tape out real quick. You would think that if this shit exists, it should be out there. This ain't the Zapruder film.
Well, I'll back you up on that one where you're right. They didn't play in Tampa Bay. They played with the Jets. They played in New York. The Jets don't give a flying F about Tampa Bay. So if they had that video, they would gladly just blow up the media with that, hurting their team. So I will say this, though. In the end, in the fact that Antonio Brown himself tried to compare his behavior to T.O. later, and T.O. said, nah, bro, we are creatures.
Good.
He handled that in the end. I understand there's a lot of things we don't know that happened on that sideline, but you sure as shit didn't help yourself with the way you handled the exit. You know what I'm saying? That's
straight
not
up.
That's
the one thing. That's the one thing that's excusable. Even by O.J. Simpson's terms, that was inexcusable. I don't believe it. When O.J. says you're some shit you did is inexcusable, you might need to evaluate yourself. Okay.
Yeah, 100%. Because I'm watching Undisputed today, and I love me some Shannon Sharp. And Shannon said, if you were pissed off, didn't like what you had or what you were told, grab a jacket, walk off the field. Guess what everybody's talking about? Oh, AB's probably going to go get an MRI. We knew
treatment.
He's getting treatment. He may not be, he's questionable come back. But what you did, and then the shit you put on IG Live in the Uber car later.
I got to release my mixtape.
A lot of this, by the way, too, other people said this might be the money grab. He might be putting things out there to try to get his contract. I still want to get paid. Then the funny part is, in his lawyer's statement, his lawyer says he needs surgery right away. So Jacina Anderson's comment, which I love her, and I'm sure she is as connected as anybody in the NFL, where she said if AB wants a job right now, he can have one, was before the lawyer's statement where the lawyer said he needs surgery ASAP.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now you just killed the season. Now Kansas City and Dallas, who might be looking for an extra wide receiver in the playoffs, well, wait a minute, you need surgery. Your lawyer said you need surgery. Because now if they try to sign him and Tampa Bay says, wait a minute, we released him saying he couldn't play. The NFL might go, hey, man, you told the other team to get out of the contract because you can't play. You know what I'm saying? His lawyer might have been, sometimes we tell too much information.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? His lawyer could have at least let that not go out and get signed. And then, and we'll find out when the physical comes, but at least get your man some more money.
Wasn't nobody going to sign this fool after that.
You think Jerry Jones wouldn't? Because they just lost Gallup. Gallup's got an ACL tear. You think Jerry Jones wouldn't?
No.
Jerry Jones signed a defensive end after he tried to kill his girlfriend.
Well, I mean, what was that? I mean, you got a wife, you got a girlfriend. I mean,
yeah, I don't. Who knows? It's just a story, a saga that we are not going to be able to step away from because it's going to be all over the.
I just leave mine with the way he left. That makes me happy. That's it. When you're an employee, you don't like the manager. Hey, we all want to do the memes where we're like flipping people off, but you can't actually do that and still get a job right away. So the way he left makes me, you know what, man? I don't care what you got told on the sideline. That you acted a fool on the way out. So
it's gonna. I don't know where this goes from here, but I don't see how any coach, even a playoff team coach, you're gonna want that. Like, remember we talked about last year or 2 years ago, I think it was, homie. Whenever he was free agent, he's talking about he was
free
talking
agent
to Russell
for 4 straight years.
Yeah, well, he's talking about coming to Seattle with Russell Wilson, right?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, I already said it from day one. No, we don't need him. We don't want him here. Don't need that type of personality in the locker room. So it'd be hard for any of these playoff coaches, in my opinion, that have built what they've built through, almost 18 weeks now, that they would put this in their locker room, put that person in their locker room for the playoff. Even though, like you said, Barcot, as good as he is, it just doesn't make sense.
No, I understand. By the way, you opened up that can of worms with Russell Wilson.
Let's go. Let's go.
Well, first,
park the car, jump out right now.
That divorce is coming. Whether it's Pete Carroll or Russell, that divorce is coming in about
when?
That they will not make it to Valentine's Day with both of them still in Seattle.
See, I for some reason I just think that they'll be there both. I don't know if they'll both be here after next year, but I think
now wait a minute.
Start the year.
Now wait a minute. Seattle does not owe him any money. He's no longer dead cap space. And because of that dumbass Jamal Adams trade, now you've got a bad football team with no first and second round picks. You think somebody's not going to replenish your draft to get Russell Wilson?
Do you think
they did money like
no, I'm not.
Carson Wentz?
But I don't think that they're going to get. Don't you think it'd be like a Deshaun Watson type, want 3 first round picks type draft?
But guess who can
You're not getting that.
You're not going to get that. No, and that's what Deshaun Watson, because they're not getting that. But there is a team. Granted, they're in an NFC, and they're in that NFC South, that they can get fixed real quick, real fast with a Russell Wilson. And if they can get Michael Thomas to come back, and they got defense, the Saints have a lot of draft picks, and they can give a lot of things to Seattle. And all of a sudden, you got the Saints with Russell Wilson, Mike. And I'm not saying that's what it's going to be. I'm just saying you have teams like that.
No, I like it.
They got teams like, hey, man, we might be 500. We got 150 catch wide receiver. And shit, if we can get a quarterback, hey, there's teams out there that are willing to gamble, and Russell's not the Sean. He doesn't have 22 freaking court cases pending. He's got a clean off the field record. They'd be willing to negotiate some things.
Hey,
winner.
You ain't wrong. I ain't mad at you for that either. I mean, it's definitely Russell Wilson's going to make that team better, but even if he doesn't, I still like New Orleans and their chances with my boy Jameis coming back.
No, I'm not even fooling around with the Saints. I don't look. The reason why I'm shaking my head with the Saints, I don't fuck with the Saints like that. Okay, ever since they did us wrong in the Super Bowl with a damn onside kick at halftime, that's foul. Okay, that's not how you do it. And I don't. And Terry Porter, not Terry Porter. What's my man Porter that intercepted Peyton Manning? I ain't gonna never forget that, you cheating bastards. But anyway. This is the move. Russell Wilson's next move is going to be his best move. I think we talked about this offline. You can't be sitting here being Russell Wilson and be with an HC who's not offensive focused. This is not it nowadays. Okay, look at Zimmer. Zimmer's sitting up here biting his nails. He's scared right now. Okay, Pete, he's scared right now. All these defensive coaches is like their styles aren't cutting it. Okay. Russell Wilson needs to jettison himself from the Seahawks just on the strength of getting in a scheme like we was talking about with the Young Bucks that highlights his best attributes. That just is what it is. Okay. What was Aaron Rodgers' major beef? I'm here by myself. It's me and Devontae. That's it. Okay. And y'all wasting draft picks on bullshit when we could have had complementary parts. Okay, you want to set yourself up in a situation to where you can thrive, stand upright, and not be on the ground all the time. Look at my man, Matt Ryan. You know what I'm saying? My man, Matt Ryan is bleeding. Okay, he's donating blood every week to this game because his wide receiver walked out the door on him after losing their legendary wide receiver, Julio Jones, to the Titans. He's out there and got Cordero Patterson doing backflips to do anything to make something work for them. You know what I'm saying? So you see what happens. Matt Ryan needs to get his ass up out of here too. I done talked about that offline, but he needs to go where somebody is going to highlight what he's got going and not using the offense as an afterthought. So therefore, what did he say when them rumors came out last year? One of the top teams mentioned in that situation is Chicago, and Chicago has positioned themselves. You want to be in a top 3 market in the nation? LA, New York, Chicago. Hey, look, that's the spot. You set up, bring the coach in, Jim Harbaugh. Okay, or you could even leave Nagy there, to be honest with you, but we know that's not a thing anymore. When it first came out, I'm like, okay, you know what I'm saying? Nagy with an offensive-minded coach in there, calling plays, putting them in a good position. Do that. So you get Harbaugh there, okay? You're good. All right? Now I bet you those guys – now, see, the problem with Chicago is they're all monsters of the Midway. What does their offense look like? Do I want to play under that offense? No. Maybe my wife wants to move there or some bullshit. Sierra wants to move there. But that's not really a spot that I want to go. But if it's the time, coach, full makeover, Russell Wilson, and then you go see what all you have, okay? You see what all you have. If Montgomery's going to stay there, if Allen Robinson's going to stay there. Mooney, he's not going nowhere. He's young on a rookie contract. So maybe you start something. But are you going to leave Tyler Lockett, DK Metcalf, and I don't know, Chris Carson or some unknown running back for that? I don't know. So, yeah, is it Pittsburgh? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I don't know. Is it Cleveland? You know what I'm saying?
Well, as soon as one of the first chips fall, whether it's Pete Carroll or Russell Wilson start moving.
Who's going to be first? If it does happen, who's going to be out first?
I don't know if they both go. It's going to be one of them.
It's going to be one or the other.
I think that they feel, in my honest opinion, I guess I would probably roll with Russ would probably leave first. No, I think Pete will leave first, but I don't think they're going to leave. I think they Aaron Barcott said Valentine's Day they're going to have a breakup or whatnot, but I don't know. For some reason, I just feel that they'll both be there at the beginning of the season. So, hey, let's get into what's up.
Go ahead.
I was just saying, let's get into some of these games before we
the way that defense is played.
Yeah, let's get into some of these games before we have to bounce out of here. We got like 20 minutes, 30 minutes probably at the max. So.
I mean, that's enough time. I mean, it's a gang of shit on the slate, but I mean, but all we're talking now, we're not even talking about going to the counter right now because you're going to put some money on any of this? You see this slate of games?
This is a complete debauchery and mess, dude. Like
I would absence of confidence.
This is where my unluck would be
probably
work the best. I just take it, throw some darts at whatever you want on this one because you can
play
put
what
together,
you think.
Throw together a massive 10-teamer, baby, and just see what happens on this week because it's not even that you're expecting anything good to come out of this, anyways. If my email would work, which is not, do you have that pulled up?
What's that?
Of the actual playoff games this
what
actually
games?
Worth a damn? Or the
every game got something in the balance. Okay, we got 2 Saturday games to start off with. Okay, which is always a good thing. Okay, so now here we go. Take it from the top. Are the Chiefs gonna go out there and play? What time is that game? That game is 1 o'clock our time. So they have to play because the Titans play in the morning on Sunday.
Yeah, they have to because of that loss to Cincinnati. They have to play.
They gotta play. The Denver Broncos. I mean, you got Drew Lock. I mean, there's nothing there. But if you were trying to make some money, don't you think that Chiefs -10 would be a safe number? Seeing they have this is the motivational spot for them because they got to put up a number because they don't know what happens with Tennessee.
And I realize that 10's a big number, but outside of Cincinnati, that Chiefs defense has been legit for 2 months. So I could see Drew Lock throwing a handful. 3 picks against that defense because it was really good up until Cincinnati's offense we talked about is good enough to mess with a lot of people. But yeah, I can see Drew Lock giving up a couple of possessions. And I could see them winning that game by 24-25 easy, Kansas City.
So this would actually be one of the games that should actually turn out how
even
we all
with a big
thought
number like that, even with a Big 10, 100%.
Yeah, because I mean, most of these other ones, I mean, it's like throwing darts just to see what would happen, just like my whole 2021 betting scenarios have gone for me this year.
Well, your Seahawks are going to struggle because Arizona's got to play now.
Yep.
That loss to the Rams hurt them. They're going to be on the road no matter what, but it's about matchups now. So they're not sitting people. And, and Kyler's missed enough games already during the regular season. They're not going to sit him again. They're going to keep it's moving.
Yeah, because they still haven't gotten that offense moving.
Yeah,
really since D-Hop went out.
Yeah, and Kyler missing games while he was gone. So
Connor was out.
They've got to get some things going offensively. So they're going to play. They're going to come out against the Seahawks. They're going to open up the playbook because they got to see what they can do and what they can't do right now.
And then the other game, Dallas and Philly on Saturday.
Philly wants to make a statement, man. They got embarrassed, and they're not the same Philly team from that 41 to whatever debacle.
Was that
and Dallas is like all over the place.
Yeah, I'm saying Philly's going to come out and play because they're not arresting people, and they also need Dallas to know we're better than what you saw last time. And by the way, if they take it from Dallas, with all the things Dallas has accomplished and Micah Parsons, who's kind of cooled off the last month, Philly wins this game. They go in the next year going, bro, you beat us by 1 game in the standings. We were butt naked last in the NFC East the year before. You won the division by 1 game over us. You're going to have that's a statement game for them.
Philly, yeah, you're 100% right.
You're going to have to deal with us moving forward.
because they could slip because they're not sealed in at 7.
Right. And so they're going to have to play. And can you imagine with all the hype, Cowboy fans?
Yeah.
Cowboy fans. Do you realize Dallas could end up 11-6? But you talk to Cowboy fan, you would have thought they were 16-1. They could legitimately be after this week 11-6. I mean, that's, I'm not knocking the Cowboys, but that offense has been very sporadic. Gallup is in now, and your running game has disappeared. Both your running backs are hurt. You're running out guys in the backfield I've never heard of. So I think Philly can take that game. I think Philly's getting healthy. Philly's got confidence.
Well, they're +7 right now. That was one of the games I looked at that I liked. The +7 is what I see. I would take Philly +7 all day.
Right? To have a team at 9-7 be +7 over a team that already won the same division.
What's that?
You'd be +7, right?
Yeah, +7. Yeah.
They got Dallas winning it, but my point being, that to see that when there's one game,
right?
That's how much that 41-point blowout, 41 or whatever that Dallas put on them meant to Vegas. I think Philly's going to come out and show something else. That game's going to be a lot.
Yeah, I mean, and Philly's been playing really well. Their defense was, they start off slow. They seem to be the team in the first half. What was it, Chicago a couple weeks ago, 3-3, and then all of a sudden in the second half they turned it up. So, I just like the way they've been playing. They've going in the right direction, and
Hurts has really developed in the last 7 or 8 weeks.
Hurts has been balling out.
Yeah, he's one of those young quarterbacks that kind of gotten forgotten unless you're on that fantasy tip, because if you're a fantasy tip, you know who he is. But as far as, you got the Burrows, the Josh Allens, and, young Herb in LA, they're getting a lot of these shines by a lot of the analysts and all that. And they forgot about Jalen Hurts. And this will be a good step for him if they can seal that, keep New Orleans out of the playoffs.
Do you think that that's because the two others, Burrow and Herbert, they've got obviously big arms, traditional 6'5" dude, whatever. I know they're mobile, but they've got great weapons. Jalen Hurts doesn't have great weapons. I know he's got Devonta Smith, but his weapons are not Jamar Chase, Keenan Allen, Mike Williams. He doesn't have kind of explosion, but he's kept a really, whatever kind of team. He's got the same record they got, basically. He's one game behind Cincinnati when you look at the wins and losses, and he doesn't have the weaponry that he has. And that's where I really am disappointed that Jalen Hurts got lost in the wash. I'm not shocked.
Judy was boring.
Hello.
Then Judy discovered ChumbaCasino.com.
It's my little escape.
Now Judy's the life of the party.
Oh, baby, mama's bringing home the bacon.
Whoa, take it easy, Judy. The Chumba life is for everybody. So go to ChumbaCasino.com and play over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+ terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
With the Lucky Land Slots, you can get lucky just about anywhere.
This is your captain speaking. We've got clear runway and the weather's fine, but we're just going to circle up here a while and get lucky. No, nothing like that. It's just these cash prizes add up quick. So I suggest you sit back, keep your tray table upright, and start getting lucky.
Play for free at LuckyLandSlots.com. Are you feeling lucky? No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+ terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Disappointed because you give Jalen Hurts that Chargers team, maybe. And I'm not knocking Herbert. He's a stud. I agree with you. People overlook Hurts. He can win games in different ways. He's a young man's, Michael Vick, so to speak. He's not as good as Michael Vick, but he does the same kind of game. He makes you have to game plan in so many different ways.
Well, and their run game has been freaking solid the past 6 weeks. I think they're
just had 230 yards rushing against and I know Washington's got a ton of holes, but the one thing Washington did do is they were holding people under 100 yards rushing. They ran for 238 against Washington, not this weekend, but 2-3 weeks ago.
Yeah, right. and they just turn it up. So they got and like you said, he doesn't have a lot of weapons out there. He just has Devontae. I can't even name another receiver.
I don't even his tight end.
Jalen Rager.
Rager. Okay.
Goddard.
Yeah.
They got rid of Aguilar because Aguilar was there with him because he couldn't catch. Exactly. So, but they had spent picks on these dudes, right? Jalen Rager hasn't turned out. Devonta Smith is out there. He's getting it a little bit, but not enough for them to do anything. Goddard has been like the safety valve with those guys in the run game.
Devonta Smith, but even in a 17-week season, Devonta Smith maybe going to get 1,100 yards. Like, he's not anywhere near, obviously, college, but he's not anywhere near the pros what Jamar Chase is. And I just feel that Jalen Hurts is not getting the love he should for what that team. Remember what a shit show the Eagles were a year ago?
Yeah.
Now they have a shot to be. You're going to have to deal with them in the playoffs. You're not just going to go, hey, Philly's coming in. You're going to have to deal with them. They might steal a game in the playoffs. A year ago, they were a train wreck. They're firing their coach. They're benching quarterbacks. They didn't know what they were doing. And they've changed that culture quick.
Any chance Jacksonville beats your second team there, anonymous homie, Indy? So we see a Las Vegas and a Los Angeles Chargers tie. The word on the street is.
You seen Jonathan Taylor this season or no? Have you not? I mean, no, that's not even a chance. Carson Wentz, look, the boy was out there last week playing with COVID and put up Mac Jones type numbers, and they still won. Okay. So, well, actually, my bad. They almost won because the Raiders beat them. But they almost won. That's how convincing that was. So I was like, Carson Wentz ain't doing a damn thing. The boys out there playing with COVID because they shortened up the situation so they can have people playing. Hell no. But see, the thing is, look at that number. And my PR would have it right there. I would have it at 16. It's probably, I don't know, shit. It might even go up to 17 or some shit at this point because Jacksonville is inept. Is this the week that we actually pull the trigger on the under whatever on them because they can't hit it? They can't hit it.
Total that we never do because we think that they'd have to be able to score a touchdown.
At some point they're gonna do it, right? We keep going. At some point they're gonna do it, and they never do. Okay, never. So it's not gonna happen. That's a good AFC game, and the Colts got to do their thing in that week. And we got to see. Well, we know that Baker Mayfield is done because the AFC is what we're looking at, right?
It might actually help them a little bit with that bad lineup.
That the movement with the AFC is what's going to happen. So you got Joe Burrow, we talked about a second ago, and playing Case Keenum led Browns team for their.
I thought I heard that Burrow was out. I thought
Burrow's probably out. He's probably not going to play. So if you look at the situation, I mean, if Keenum comes out because they got the game sitting at 3, ain't it? If I'm not mistaken,
6.
I mean.
-6 Cleveland.
The lines moved. The lines moved.
Yeah.
I would make it a Cincinnati 1. That's how much credit I give Cleveland at full strength. Now this is at full strength though.
By the way, I just want to throw this in. I just opened up my ESPN app. BA did a press conference.
Okay, breaking news.
Antonio Brown was bitching about targets, and he was upset that Rob Gronkowski was getting thrown to again. That's what started the fight on the side.
What?
That he was
so see people now we need to go back and see how many snaps he was on the field for because I don't remember. Well, that game was horrible, so I didn't see it on Red Zone. Nobody looked.
7 catches for over 100 yards.
What did AB have when he was on the field?
AB had 5 catches when he left. He had 5. Oh. He didn't have a lot of yards, but he had 5 catches. But he was upset because the week before he had 15 targets, and now he's upset somebody else got 100 yards. Meanwhile, if I'm Mike Evans, I'm looking at both of y'all going like, bro. Do you know what I was before you two showed up?
Right.
I don't know. That sounds like some extra setup.
It's another thing we just talked about, how the mental case.
Now I'll say that falls in line with AB's career, though. If I'm not happy, you better, I'm a diva, keep me happy, or I'm going to blow this. He blew shit up in Oakland. He was an ass in New England. He even blew up Kraft on his way out the door in New England. So I get where it could be a setup, and I'm not saying it's not, but it does fall in line with AB's behavior. Where
right, Another reason why no coach would want him on the sideline or their team.
Remember that's what ended him in Pittsburgh when the Pittsburgh players voted JJ. What was his name? The wide receiver.
Juju Smith-Schuster.
Yeah. They voted Juju. They voted Juju as the team MVP, and that's why he stopped going to practice and they eventually got suspended for that last game.
Oh, snap. I don't even remember that. Okay.
Yeah. So that's my point, where something as petty as you got 15 targets last week, this week you get 7. I could see where that pisses him off. Because he's had that past. I'm not, obviously he hasn't had the undressing himself past, but he's had the, F this guy in his locker.
Right. All right, homie. Continue.
Sorry for that. I apologize.
Oh, that's a good breaking news.
No, you're good.
Fired up.
Hey, look, but we talked about the AFC. We already talked about the Chiefs and their position and their need to play. Who else needs to play? Tennessee, Houston. Tennessee packing it up after picking up their bodies that are slowly mending. Okay, Derrick Henry not going to be playing. Okay, but the light switch has already been turned back on because they're in the playoffs. They're trying to get this bye so they do not have to play without him. Motivation is necessary in this situation, and you serve me up a division rival, Houston, who is on their last legs, except for Davis Mills still going out and proving that he is a commodity out here. Nobody else, I don't think, gives a shit. They all eating crawfish and barbecue down there in Houston. They don't want to play, right? Look at that coach. Nobody knows who that coach is. They couldn't pick that coach out of a lineup. So Tennessee has to play. And then we just talked about what happens now. KC has to win. Tennessee feels like they have to win. Okay. Cincinnati, you know what I'm saying? And they're going against this Case Keenum team. But you're going to not play Mixon because he's on COVID.
Mixon is positive, and Burrow's out.
He's on COVID, and Burrow's not going to play. You're going to put Brandon Allen out there so I'm assuming that they're saying that they're happy with this 3 or 4 seed because they're going to get a home game, I'm guessing, because number 4, Buffalo Bills, 10-6. Cincinnati Bengals at 3-10-6. New England Patriots, 10-6. Okay, who did I just say? Buffalo Bills. Oh, they get a softball, but a gutsy softball at home versus the Jets. And their number is astronomical. I would make this a damn near 20-point spread if it was me. But it's at 16.5, probably moved a little bit at this point.
Well, Caesar's Palace won't hire you. They would make no money on that game.
I mean, 16.5. I mean, what the hell's the difference? All I'm giving them is extra field goal. You know what I'm saying? But you look at it, I wouldn't trust a damn thing. Now, this would be one because I've seen Josh Allen, and he can't. They don't cover up. They don't cover a spread out there. Okay, and another division rival, and with Zach Wilson feeling himself after putting up a nice effort versus Tom Brady. He's got to end the year strong. He knows that he's going to be the guy. He got hurt this year. He's got to come out tough. This is a spot for you to get some money on the plus side with the Jets. Yep. But the Bills got to come out and win this game. So how convoluted does that look in terms of seeding with 1 through 5? Okay, from Tennessee to New England, this is going to be crazy going on with this, but everybody's getting softballs. Who do the Patriots got? Miami. Oh, Miami's tough. It's in Miami. Okay, it's in Miami.
Miami's going to play everybody. They're not sitting nobody.
Oh, yeah.
And I realize
Tua has to.
Yeah.
Because their owner has been talking all year about, hey, we would be the first team to sign Deshaun Watson. So Tua's got to go out there and prove that he's got some worth. So he's got a lot to play for, even though he can't do much more than the 5-yard out pattern with efficiency. But Waddle's been looking good out there. You know what I mean?
Second dump.
Exactly. But Waddle's been showing some signs.
By the way, if Miami gets them a strong quarterback, Waddle, I like that cat.
Waddle's true.
And shockingly, a lot of very good Alabama wide receivers the last few years. So go ahead. Sorry.
Well, yeah, we talked about that too. That now that the Alabama notorious for the wide receivers since Julio Jones, right? And they just been rolling them out. Calvin Ridley, blah, 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 down the line. And now they're starting to get these quarterbacks in the league too that are with them. We talked about Jalen Hurts having, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Having Smith with them, you know what I'm saying, out there too. And they matching up these quarterbacks. And we thought that this Tua Waddle situation would materialize a little bit more, but Tua don't know how to get the ball down the field. I don't know if that's O-line, which I hear a lot of that is just a sorry O-line.
He was never a big arm kid at Alabama, though.
But he wasn't doing that. That's not his game.
He could get it down the field at Alabama when he had first-round draft pick wide receivers going against sixth-round draft pick corners.
Yeah, Tua needs like a Tyreek Hill type player, or like a Kamara or a McCaffrey, somebody that stay close to him and run short out that'll make some plays for him. But I don't think they got a shot against Bill Belichick. Come on, man. So what is the seeding gonna look like? It's gonna be a bunch of seeds by tie break.
With the Lucky Land Slots, you can get lucky just about anywhere.
This is your captain speaking. We've got clear runway and the weather's fine, but we're just going to circle up here a while and get lucky. No, nothing like that. It's just these cash prizes add up quick. So I suggest you sit back, keep your tray table upright, and start getting lucky.
Play for free at LuckyLandSlots.com. Are you feeling lucky? No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+ terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Because everybody's going to have the same damn record. They're not playing each other. New England's not playing the Bills, Bengals, Chiefs. They're all playing cupcakes. This is wild. This is about to be damn great. And guess what it ends off with? Ends off the last damn game, Sunday Night Football. Raiders, Chargers. Raiders can get in, spoil the Chargers situation, and then you got a logjam at 9-7. Colts, Chargers, Raiders. Who gets in?
As much as I like that Chargers roster, do people realize they've given up the same number of points as the Houston Texans defense? That defense, I don't care, because every time I talk to a Chargers fan, and there ain't very many of them, but when I do talk to one, hey man, Bosa, hey man, our safety, the kid that was hurt for a couple years,
Derwin James,
and I'm like, hey, I get you guys have talent on both sides of football. But at what point in time are you going to look at each other and go, we just hired the Rams defensive coordinator, which killed the Rams because that defense is falling off without him.
Yes, sir.
Your defense got no better. You guys are down there with the Texans in points allowed. Like, you guys are letting everybody run up and down the field on you. Like, I love their offense. I love me some Keenan Allen. Jason knows that. I draft that mug every year in our fantasy league. I love their quarterback. I think they need a more consistent running game to defend their defense, to keep their defense off the field a little bit more. But I'm not sold on the Chargers. I think the Raiders can take that.
And they need to be a little bit more judicious with all of these fourth down, going for it situations too. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure they done cost a gang of people some money.
And I'm going to tell you right now, fourth downs, that's that baseball analytics shit that's starting to get football, where dudes are literally going for it. We've seen it now. It's not only 4th and inches anymore. Their teams are going for 4th and 4 at midfield.
Yeah, we've talked about that quite a few times on this show.
Yeah.
Well, like you said, there's the Saturday games and there's the 10 a.m. games. So there's the three games at 1:25. The Seahawks, Cardinals, and then 49ers, Rams, and Chargers, Raiders. So all three of those games at 1:25. That's a good, nice little slate of games where we can sit there and watch the three. And I, like we said, the Chargers and Raiders is definitely the most important game out of all the games this weekend, I believe. So, and then the Raiders +3 seems like an easy take right now, because like you just said, Barcot, about the Chargers, and you never know what Herbert is going to show up. Do you? What young Herb you're going to get? I mean, you're going to get the 250 yards and 2 touchdowns. You're going to get the 300 yards and 4 interception guy or whatever, Right. I don't think he's throwing 4 interception a game, but you follow me where I'm going out here, because it doesn't.
He does throw a lot of picks. He does throw a lot. Not a ton. He's not.
Yeah. He's got 15 or 18 on the year, I believe. Yeah. But Aaron Rodgers,
they got Eckler back in the mix now after he was out for a little bit. So they're gonna work that back in because he doesn't look the same without Eckler in there chewing up some of that yardage.
They need to fix that tight end situation because the tight end he's got, I know is good, but that cat has been on like 6 teams. There's a reason
for real.
Drew Brees and the Saints let him go. Like there's a reason they need to find a tight end, a consistent. If I'm gonna tell you, if that Chargers team, and I know this is a big name, but if they had one of those big name, a Darren Waller, a Kelsey, that kind of guy at tight end with those 2 wide receivers and running back, they'd be unstoppable. But when you don't have a tight end in today's game, when defenses are built to defend the pass, I don't have to defend the middle of the field. You got Keenan Allen running 5-yard outs. You got Mike Williams running friggin' 8 routes, seam routes, and then you got to dump off to the running back. Well, okay, that's pretty vanilla when it comes down to coverages. They've got to have somebody that opens up the middle of the field for him. And I think that's their problem right now. They just don't have it.
San Fran and the Los Angeles Rams. Homie, you got anything on your team before we close her on out? Because this game means something too.
I think I talked about it last on the last spot that we did, because it's all 4 teams in this division are playing each other. Now, this is probably, one time where, well, probably the only time I've ever seen where Seattle's the outside looking in, playing spoiler in the situation, and everybody else has got something to play for. And going up against the hated 49ers, the bane of my damn existence, okay, is just it's gonna be serious because we don't know what we have. The Rams walked this game. This is easy. This should be easy. We don't have a reason for anybody to not be playing in this game, and I don't give a damn if it's Garoppolo or Lance. Okay, Lance looks decent. He looks serviceable. You know what I'm saying? That's about it with those guys. But the problem is they're substituting him and that youth and whatever he can bring for the continuity that Garoppolo has with the squad, and Debo and Kittle. Because when Garoppolo's in there, Kittle is eating. Debo is eating. When Lance is in there, it's not quite the same. Okay, so because he doesn't have the first team reps with those guys, and he doesn't have the same relationship. The defense is another problem. Okay, and I worry about that because Matt Stafford has more damn pick sixes than Jared Goff had the whole time he was in LA. This is worrisome. That's why I told y'all from the jump, don't get on this Matt Stafford in the Rams. Well, everybody is bandwagon anyway. You know what I'm saying? Don't get on this. Oh, this is a free ticket to the Super Bowl, the home Super Bowl. No, it's not. This is going to take work. This is going to take work because the defense ain't right. Yeah,
Sonny Michel's pushing 1,000 yards. He's been getting 100 yards a week. So I agree with you.
Doing it.
I see it too, because they've been handing him off. And I don't know why Bill Belichick let him get in the doghouse, because that kid's talented. He's not as talented as his college teammate Nick Chubb, but he's talented.
Yeah.
Coming out of nowhere, he's going to push 900 yards. And I think Cat had 200 yards through 5 games, and he's going to end up with almost 1,000. So I agree with you when it comes down to lines and betting. The Rams know Matthew Stafford is not it. That's why in the last 4 or 5 weeks, Sonny Michel's become, the cat that they got, out of Georgia that went to Atlanta a couple years ago.
Is Cam Akers back too this week?
Cam Akers is active.
He's back, but I don't know how much he's going to carry the ball. That's the
bridge. That's why Sonny Michel is still there. He can work his way in game. They can spot him like they did when he first started. Play him behind Henderson like he was getting off. Exactly. He get a chance to feel himself. He don't have to go back in there and worry about being the number one right off the rip. And we can get him prepared and be ready for these playoff situations. We need to maintain this damn seed and this division lead so we can have this good home game, because we're not trying to be going to we don't want to go nowhere. Damn it. We don't want to go to Arizona
first round.
They want to avoid Green Bay as long as they can avoid Green Bay.
That's real. And Green Bay, the official only team who just says, hey, we're good. Jordan Love, do your thing, baby.
I would say this, and I know we're talking about gambling lines. or the Rams when they're healthy next year. Now they got OBJ and you put Robert Woods, you got Cam Akers, Sonny Michel, and Henderson. They're going to be tough next year. And then get Von Miller for an entire year. That team, I know we're talking about betting lines right now. I'm just saying, come August, September, when everybody's healthy, that team's going to be dangerous next year.
So will the Seahawks with Russell Wilson and Pete Carroll at the helm.
Russell Wilson and some like Division II college coach that they hired at the last second.
It's supposed to be a McVay lookalike or protege.
Yeah.
It just wants to throw the ball over the place.
Except for the wide receivers of Seattle don't know how to run routes because everything is an escape route while Russell runs around. That's why you can't have a great offensive coordinator because nobody runs routes.
It's the fire drill.
Russell's doing. That's why I think Russell's going to go before Pete because you cannot put an offensive-minded coach in there and run specific offenses when the wide receivers are taught everything's an escape route. Yeah, I don't know how to implement my offense now, but it is what it is.
Yeah, we'll see.
And no running game because Chris Carson's retiring with that neck injury.
Yeah, soon to see the off season is almost among us. Hey, well, Aaron Barcot, thanks for coming on. We appreciate you, man. Pasco High School, or not Pasco High School. Yeah, Pasco High School's district women's champs, baby. Head coach of
state right now.
Women's champs.
Number one in state ahead of Sumner.
Look at that.
Let's go. Unless they see you practice, you said.
Unless they see us practice. You watch us. We're gamers. You watch us play. You watch us practice, and it's a fucking zoo.
Two different things.
Yeah.
Hey, that's what happens sometimes. Hey, obviously check out the YouTube channel, Sports Fix with Stix and ABH, big homie. Don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review there, as well as on any podcast platform that you listen to. We'd appreciate it. So thank you very much. Thanks for listening, everybody. Go to thisisfunner.com for more podcasts and online content. Follow me on Twitter at Stix015 and follow this guy, anonymous big homie, at homie_anonymous.
Okay. Look. Hey, before we go, I know y'all heard about the chick who claimed that she's making $50,000 a week selling farts, right? Y'all ain't heard this?
Didn't she just die?
She had a damn heart attack. She had a heart attack by trying to tank up too much so she can fuel this economy she's got going on. It always
it was that diet. It was that diet that got you the heart.
It amazes me the shit that people will buy though. You know what I'm saying? To pervy motherfuckers. But what really jogs my brain, you ever put two thoughts together? What does the collection work like to get it in the jar? Yeah. And while y'all thinking about that, think about this. This is funner.
That was Sports Fix with Stix. Thank you for listening, and don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review the show. If you want to join the show, use the hashtag StixandSports.
Winners don't make excuses.